everyone. My name is Ashwini and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my GMAT journey and how I got 750 on my first try with the help of Target Test Prep. So I have quite a non-traditional background for an MBA applicant. I went to what is one of the top fashion schools in the world, London College of Fashion, and graduated with a degree in fashion design. I then became a digital fashion designer, and I worked for a startup for just over a year. And from there, I moved to Meta, previously known as Facebook, and I've been at Meta for a year now, working on kind of like the R&D side of digital fashion for the metaverse. My first mock test score was 650, so I got a 41 on Quant and a 37 on Verbal. And that was after about 1.5 months of going through the official guidebooks and nothing else. I started my prep around October last year using the official guides, but then, Diwali in November, Christmas in December, and then I went home for a bit to India and then to Bangkok. So I kind of took about a 2-month break from studying. And then when I wanted to get back into it, I started using TTP. I got an email from GMAT Club, and that's how I heard about TTP. And I thought I'd just try the 1-week trial for $1, and I found it to be super useful. So I decided to get a 2-month subscription. The reason I got a 2-month subscription is because I'd already signed up to the GMAT exam for April 4th. And so I had just about 2 months to study. I used the platform for about 9 weeks in all. And I did the accelerated version of the course because although I hadn't done any quant in about 7 years, I was quite good at quant when I was in high school. So my concepts were still quite clear. So for me, it was really, one, trying to avoid silly mistakes and just kind of getting a lot of practice in the areas in which I tend to make mistakes when I'm kind of rushing and things. And the second was to basically just kind of learn shortcuts and quick methods to do problems so that I can do better time-wise. TTP was great for both these things because, first of all, they give you so many practice problems of every single level from every single chapter. So that was incredible practice for me to kind of avoid those silly mistakes. But also they give you kind of explanations, sometimes even video explanations of problems and kind of different methods of doing these problems. So that was super useful as well because I was able to learn lots of tips and tricks. And where they give you kind of multiple ways of doing it, I was able to find a way that works best for me, that I find easiest to kind of remember and do quickly. One of the features on the platform that I found super beneficial was being able to create custom tests, because you can actually create custom tests with only questions that you've gotten wrong previously, questions that you've taken a long time to do, or questions that you've bookmarked that you were maybe not feeling super confident about. So you can go back and kind of create custom tests like that and do them multiple times and do multiple tests like that. So you're really kind of becoming confident in those exact problems that you're not feeling as confident in. So it was a really easy way to kind of track what I'm doing well at, track what I'm not doing as well at, where I need to improve, where I need more practice. So that was amazing. I found TTP to be super useful just on its own. I did most of the problems on the platform, and I also really practiced the tricky bits diligently. I didn't have to spend time making a study plan because TTP already did that for me. So that saved me a lot of time to just really sit down every day and just keep working. I managed to go from a 41 to a 50 on Quant. And the amazing thing is, I didn't just go up to 50. I felt really, really confident about that 50. I felt like I'd just done every single kind of problem so many times that I knew them like the back of my hand. And I just kind of felt like there's no way I can screw this up at this point, even if I want to, because I've just, been through every kind of problem so many times and I feel so confident about it. It was only after I felt really confident about that 50 in Quant that I actually moved on to Verbal. The way I kind of used the platform for Verbal was actually very different from the way I used the platform for Quant. Instead of doing the practice questions, I kind of focused on just reading the theory because I think there were so many kind of intricacies in the grammar rules that I think you just don't realize you don't know. And so TDP was really great for that. I kind of felt really clear about those rules, and that automatically kind of helped lift my score. I did go from a 37 to a 47 on Quant, but on the day I didn't really do my best, so I got a 42. But I mean, I was still pretty happy with a 42, to be honest. I think it's very important to feel confident and really believe in yourself to be able to do well on the GMAT. I did enough problems on TTP, and I also did mock tests with zero distractions. So I felt quite confident that the mock test scores were, what I was going to get, that they were a true indication of my capability. And so that really helped me kind of not have a lot of test anxiety, and to kind of do my best on test day. I remember when I first started prep, I was, aiming for a 700. I was hoping I'd be able to touch 700 eventually. And my dad actually told me, he was like, you should be aiming for 750. And I thought he was being absolutely ridiculous. I didn't think there was any chance that I would be able to get to 750. Even 710 to me at the time seemed like a stretch. And after my mock test, I knew there was definitely room for improvement, but kind of felt like, how much higher can I go? Like, how do I do this? I was a bit confused about how to go about it. And it felt like a lot of effort to just make a plan that was going to take me as high as possible. But with TTP, my journey became so smooth and so easy. And, before I knew it, with zero meltdowns, basically, and with just about 6 weeks of prep, I immediately went up to, 750, went up by 100 points from 650. So thanks to TTP, I actually really enjoyed the process of studying for GMAT and taking the GMAT rather than dreading it, as I think a lot of people do. So yeah, I was excited to take the test and get my score.